Okay, welcome to this video. It's not going to be hugely long, it's going to be as long as it needs. So basically, I was thinking about how to create a very minimalistic setup. Now, right now I am filming on my iPhone 16 Pro and I'm using a DJI Mic Mini and it's all going into my MacBook Pro. I'm actually using ScreenFlow for Mac to capture it, but you could be using QuickTime Player to capture videos like this. You could be using Zoom, you could be using Camtasia, it doesn't really matter. So my thinking was I may be traveling, particularly over the summer, you go on vacation and you want a system that you can easily take with you. So I'm discounting using a fancy podcast mic on a stand like a Shure or something like that. I know you can get smaller versions, but I don't want to be carrying any extra weight or having any problems going through airports and things like that. So no podcast mic, no stand either, because that's another weight. Now, I don't want to use my internal MacBook webcam. They're not great, let's face it. So here we go. Now I am using the FaceTime camera on my MacBook Pro. You can see the quality's gone down. You can see the background's much sharper, much more distracting. There's definite advantage in using your iPhone as your web camera. So I didn't want to bring another external webcam. I know they're small, but it's another thing to carry. So I wanted to use the best camera I already own, which is my iPhone 16 Pro. So really, it's boiling down to the MacBook, your iPhone, which you already own, and a microphone, okay, and that's it. Now, it's not just for creating videos with the MacBook. If I wanted to then do vlog style videos, I can use the same microphone. If I want to do shorts, if I want to sit down and do a more formal video, putting my phone on a tripod, I could then use my iPhone again for that and use the DJI Mic Mini. So it's a flexible setup. You can use it for sit down, formal filmed interviews. You can do it for vlogging style. You can do it for your short form videos, and you can do it for your MacBook work. Let me just show you around. So right now you can see there is my camera. Now I haven't even got a mount for that. I do own one, but I'm showing you how to be super minimal. I'm using blue tack. That's what I call it in the UK. I think you may call it sticky putty in the US and different names for it. Basically a sticky substance that kids used to put posters up. I'm actually using that to stick it onto my wall right now. And yes, you can get things like this Belkin mount, which clips on to the top of your computer. Of course, you could use a tripod to mount your camera, any sort of stand with a fitting as well. But right now, super minimal, attached to my wall. So that's the camera side of it. How am I connecting it wirelessly to my MacBook? I'm using the continuity camera system. It's free. If you've got a MacBook and an iPhone that's compatible, it will work. Now, I won't explain it now. It's a bit long-winded, but I'll put a link in the description where you can set up your Mac and your phone so it can connect like this, and you can basically use your iPhone as your camera. And I happen to be using ScreenFlow for Mac, which is a software on my computer, but you could use this setup for your Zoom calls, your live streams, or whatever other software you use, as long as you can go and find your camera within the software and find a microphone within the software. You'll be able to connect it up in just the same way as I've done now. As for the DJI Mini, I went for the 2 transmitter, 1 receiver option. I thought, I might want to interview somebody and therefore I want to mic me and my guests. So I went for the case where you get the 2 transmitters, the 2 microphones inside of it, but you can get a lower cost version that's only got 1 microphone. So here is the case. It's fabulous. Everything just fits in the case and it charges whilst it's resting, and it's very small, compact. You can see right now I'm using the magnetic attachment and it's on my top right now. So there's a little magnet you put under your shirt and it just clips straight on. So it's small, much smaller than the regular DJI mic, which I quite like that. I think it sounds pretty good. And of course, you could always use that as a starting point and then adjust your sound later on when you're using your editing software. So the transmitter plugs straight into the MacBook. There's no setting up. It's all connected straight away. I didn't have to do any connecting at all. So it plugs into the MacBook and it's just super, super easy to use. Now, the other thing is you can just plug it straight into your smartphone as well. I'm a big iPhone fan. Goes straight into the USB-C port on my iPhone 16 Pro. So I can use it on that. I can record 2 microphones into it, as I mentioned before. So compact, easy to use. And I could use it as a home setup. I think it's good enough to use in the home office as well. I don't really need a podcast mic. If I was doing a podcast, I probably would get it. It's a richer sound. But for these kind of videos, I don't really need it. And I like the flexibility of being able to use a microphone inside and outside. Just a word about the audio. Can you hear a plane right now? Because this microphone is noise cancelling. I actually live in London, fairly near Heathrow. There's been a couple of planes over the last minute and I haven't stopped recording. I just wondered if you've heard those planes, because this does have a couple of noise cancelling settings. In terms of lighting, I've got a lot of daylight in this room. I'll show you now. I don't think the lighting is fantastic here. I don't think my background is fantastic, but using the continuity camera, you can use the portrait mode and that pushes the background out of focus. I know people who love their mirrorless cameras will say, well, it doesn't look as good as that. But you know, for quick, simple, low budget videos, I think this looks great, particularly as I don't often go full screen. I'll often be a little box in the corner if I'm reacting to some footage. Who cares? It's really your content that people will judge you on, not whether your bokeh looks fabulous or not. Once again, I didn't have to go out and spend $500, $600, $1,000, $2,000 on a fancy camera to use for this kind of video. So that's it, my super improvised, minimalistic setup. If you've got any comments about it, please do add them down below. I want to mention I have a weekly newsletter. It's an email newsletter that I call a newsletter, where I every week give the best tips and tricks related to video creation and also video marketing. So link in the description to sign up to my free newsletter, and please do subscribe as well. Thanks for watching and bye for now.